Am, where are we gonna go?
I'm coming over a bridge.
Cool. So we're entering the Fort Pitt Tunnel and stuck in some Steelers traffic. Yep, this is a tunnel. This is the bridge. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Yep, we're going over the bridge. Hi guys, I'm here at the top of Mount Washington, overlooking the city of Pittsburgh, and I decided to do my video on the bridges in Pittsburgh. So my inspiration was to do like a mini STEAM lesson with the kids, so science, technology, engineering, art, and math, and talking about the bridges specifically and how they're a really big part of the landscape in Pittsburgh, along with just the structure and function of how people get around, and if they weren't here, how different of a place Pittsburgh would be. Specifically, you probably wouldn't have all that going on downtown if it wasn't connected to the other sides of the rivers. So you can kind of see lots and lots of bridges. Pittsburgh, in fact, has, I think I read 446 bridges, which is the most bridges anywhere in one city in the entire world. So even more than Venice, Italy, which is a city that is literally water. We supposedly have even more bridges than Venice. So I thought that was a pretty cool fact. But my thought is that, like I said before, you could do a mini STEAM lesson, talk about the science and the technology and the engineering and art and math, all those things that go into building bridges, and talk about like the different types of bridges. You could also talk about the specific architects or engineers that design the bridges, the purpose for the bridges, what it's connecting, what it's used for, because not all the bridges, even now in Pittsburgh, are used for public cars. We have certain bridges you can kind of see, that middle bridge, not the far yellow one, which is the 10th Street Bridge. But you can kind of, it's right in front of the Liberty Bridge. So it's the middle bridge, but like the lower portion, that's a train only. It's a bridge for the T line. And so just the different uses. Also, we have bridges, you can't see them from here because downtown's blocking, but bridges on the north side that are the 6th, 7th, and 9th Street bridges, but they're named after different people. So you could talk about that and the history of naming and building of the bridges. So lots of different things can go into looking at the different bridges. So this would be a good place to bring students because you can get a big overview. So way in the distance, let me see if I can zoom in. You can kind of see the hot metal bridge, the blue-green one, this Birmingham Bridge, and you have 10th Street Bridge, Liberty Bridge, you have the T-line bridge, I don't know if there's a name for it. And then you have that little one down there, the Smithfield Street Bridge. That's a really old bridge. I believe it was built originally in 1887, but I'll double check that one. And then you have downtown, you have the Fort Pitt and Fort Duquesne bridges, and can't see it, but I'll try to see if I can get another view from up here to look at the West End Bridge. But that's kind of my initial thoughts, and then I'm going to look and try to go over some of these bridges in more detail. Alright, see you guys. Alright, here I am, better view of the bridges along the Monongahela. So the Smithfield Street Bridge ahead of me. I double checked it was built in 1883, so I was off by a few years. It's a National Civic Engineering Landmark, and I believe there's a plaque down there, but I'm not going to go down there. You guys can explore it on your own. I'm just limited with time. So also you can see right there is a Liberty Bridge, and this shorter one underneath is the line for the T, the train. And then the yellow one is the 10th Street Bridge, and the distance is the Birmingham Bridge, and way out there, you can't really see it, It's the hot metal bridge. So Liberty Bridge, big connector of the South Hills to downtown, and then the other bridges connecting the South Side to downtown or Oakland. If you scan back this way, there's Smithfield Street Bridge. If you take, so I'm along Grandview, if you go past that flag, that building down there is the Monongahela Incline, and you guys can actually ride it for free with your Chatham ID. So you can go and ride that down, and it will take you pretty much right at the Smithfield Street Bridge, and then you're right at Station Square, so that would dump you right down there. And I do that a lot to get to the trail. You can see the soccer stadium, and then the game's going to start here in a little bit, Heinz Field, in a couple hours. So that's the view from the Monongahela. Alright, so I'm a little bit out of breath because going this direction is a lot hillier to walk, but anyway, we are looking at the point head on downtown. So you have Fort Pitt Bridge at the right, and then looking at the Allegheny River, you can see Fort Duquesne Bridge, the Three Sisters Bridges, so the three identical bridges in a row. You can see a train bridge, I don't know if it has a name, and then you can also see, I believe that's the 16th Street Bridge, the one with like the yellow with the three little humps in the distance there. So this is another good place to kind of look at the different bridges. And then if we scan this way, there's a stadium. It's getting a little bit rowdier. The game's going to start up the Ohio. And then there's West End Bridge. I believe the other one in the distance is a train or bus only. And then you have the McKees Rocks Bridge. So again, just a good viewpoint to kind of see a lot at once. And then talk about, again, the different types, different materials, who built them, why they were built. The difference in the heights of the bridges is important too. So you have some high-level bridge structures and some lower-level ones. So depending on how high the water is to avoid being stuck during times of flooding. But another good vantage point from up here at the Points of View statue, if I scan. Hey guys, I'm standing on the north side of downtown, looking at the Allegheny River at the Rachel Carson Bridge, also known as the 9th Street Bridge. And this is one of 3 bridges called the Sister Bridges. And what makes these unique is that they're the only trio of nearly identical bridges, as well as the first self-anchored suspension bridges that were built in the U.S., and they were designed in response to political, commercial, and aesthetic concerns that were going on in Pittsburgh in the 1920s, so built between 1924 and 1928. And they're also similar to the 10th Street Bridge that's across the Monongahela on the south side. And the one under construction in the middle there is the Andy Warhol Bridge, or the 7th Street Bridge, and in the distance, the Roberto Clemente, or the 6th Street Bridge. It says, the War Department ruled that bridges over Pittsburgh rivers had to be high enough not to interfere with the river commerce and steal coal and war material during times of war. Now we're on the other side of the 6th Street Bridge, or the Roberto Clemente Bridge, looking across the Allegheny at PNC Park. And then down towards, you can kind of see Heinz Field in the background there, and then the Fort Duquesne Bridge. We're going to zoom in a little bit, and then you can see it's like a double-decker bridge, so is the Fort Pitt Bridge, so it's pretty neat. So here I'm standing at the Hot Metal Bridge, connecting kind of Oakland to the south side. This is arguably one of my favorite bridges in town. And interesting to note that it used to actually be 2 different bridges that were side by side. One was for railroad traffic, and that was built in 1887. And then the other one, which was like the original hot metal bridge, was built in 1900, and that connected furnaces of a steel mill. So it used to be kind of 2 separate, and then it went and got a major overhaul, and then it was worked on again in 2000, I believe, that added the pedestrian portion. Hello, now I'm at the waterfront and I'm crossing this little tiny bridge that goes over the main drive that goes through the waterfront so that I can show you the Homestead Grace Bridge. So this is the main one that connects Squirrel Hill to Homestead and the waterfront mainly. And this bridge was named after the baseball team, the Homestead Grays. They played in the Negro League, and they were based here in Homestead. As they grew in popularity, they moved across the river and played in Pittsburgh, and then eventually they started playing half their games in Washington, D.C., which I found pretty interesting. And then as popularity of that team grew, they moved more and more of their games to the nation's capital. So kind of in honor of the baseball team here, that's the Homestead Grace Bridge. And the best part of this whole process is having sleeping children, although I think he just woke up, but having sleeping children at the end of this bridge adventure. So hope you guys enjoyed, and get out and enjoy Pittsburgh's landscape.